It's week 8 in the NFL. Matthew Rocchio, Randy Karraker, and we are going to preview a few of these games in the conference takeover weekend that started with the Chargers just hammering the Vikings 37-10. And Matthew, as Dennis Green would have said, he is who we thought he was. Carson Wentz is who we thought he was.
That was a rough game for the Vikings from the get-go, and really a lot of reflection going on in Minnesota after Thursday evening, because there's a lot of people who were expecting a lot from this season. In Minnesota. Obviously, there were questions around the quarterback spot. Those have not been answered in any way, shape, or form. But the defense falling to a point where they're giving up almost a 40 spot to a struggling offense who, yes, did get Joe Alt back last night, but nonetheless, to give up 40 to that struggling Chargers offense when the defense was supposed to be a strength for the Vikings this year, that's a bad spot where they're at.
And the Chargers get another really good performance from Justin Herbert. They keep finding running backs. This kid named Vidal, who has 2 100-yard games in his last 3 games. Chargers actually might bounce back. I've kind of given up on them, but they might bounce back, and they don't have a bad record. I mean, if they can just keep rolling a little bit, they're up to 5-3, so they definitely could see themselves in the playoffs as this season comes to an end. Okay, let's talk about what's going to happen on Sunday, and let's start with the Bills and the Panthers at Carolina. Buffalo is a 7.5-point favorite. Andy Dalton gets the start for the Panthers. Bryce Young is out in this one. I don't think it really matters who plays. I think Carolina might actually be a little bit better with Andy Dalton than Bryce Young. That being said, I don't see how Carolina hangs with Buffalo.
Yeah, neither do I on this one. And actually, right now you're getting half a point less. That half-point kicker isn't on DraftKings right now, so you can actually get it at just -7 for the Bills right now. Over/under is at 46.5. Yeah, I like everything about that. I know the Panthers have played better. We talked about the story of the Panthers podcast that couldn't take it anymore and stopped listening. The Panthers would then go on to rip off some wins since that podcast had said they would no longer do regular episodes. But I think this is where the little mini run for Bryce Young and the Panthers stop. Teodoro McMillan is a legitimate wide receiver. They've hit on that one. They've hit on some good draft picks. Young looks like he can grow into a legitimate starting quarterback. Maybe not, an all-pro level guy, but at least a legitimate quarterback. Not what you want when you use that pick and you trade it around like they did, but nonetheless, he has grown this year. But yeah, I think the Bills, kind of like the Chiefs, this is the time when good teams kind of put pedal down a little bit and start steamrolling the bad ones. And I think this could be a good example for the Bills.
And a word that's been used here in St. Louis in regards to hockey, desperation. Buffalo, after starting 4-0, has lost 2 in a row. They're going to be a little bit desperate coming into this game.
I think so. And I know Bryce Young's not playing this weekend. I do think they would have a better chance with Bryce Young under center. I do think he is growing pretty well.
He's getting better. I just think Dalton is a guy that maximizes the receivers. As good as McMillan is, and you're right about that, I think Dalton will make him even better. But against Buffalo, I don't know that makes a lot of difference. The Chicago Bears, Green Bay's biggest rival, have won 4 in a row. They're at Baltimore. The Ravens coming off of a bye like Buffalo, and the Ravens are going to get some people back. Roquan Smith, Lamar Jackson, that's pretty important. Ronnie Stanley is back. So they're going to have some people back. They're playing at home. I like Baltimore. They're a 7.5-point favorite in this game. They're going to turn things around at some point. They're just too good not to. And I think with Lamar back, I think the Bears are in trouble.
I know Lamar's back. I get that all. With the way that they've been playing right now, though, I really like the Bears getting almost a full touchdown here against the Ravens. And if you could maybe buy it up to 7.5, cover yourself for a full touchdown, so that if Lamar Jackson and the Ravens do win this game and they win it by a full touchdown, you're still covered there. I think you're still going to get pretty good odds. I really like this for the Bears. I know they're the away team traveling, but the Ravens just, even with Lamar Jackson, they have not seemed at any point like a cohesive team. And the one big weakness with them, that defense. I know if the Bears don't have a lot of success this year, but they have some weapons. Luther Burden could have a big game. I think this could win. Again, I'm not saying the Bears outright. I'd stay away from the money line. But if you're getting a full touchdown right now for the Bears, even in an away game, I like them potentially playing spoiler here.
The Ravens have played games this year where they've been missing 8 of their projected 11 starting players on defense. Kyle Hamilton is back, full participant on Friday in practice. Marlon Humphrey back, full participant on Friday in practice. Roquan Smith back, full participant in practice. And then they get Ronnie Stanley back. He'll be in the lineup against Chicago on the offensive side, along with DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson. It's a team that is coming together, and we know they're really good once they have their guys. So that's why I like what they have going for them right now. Is I really do believe that if they're healthy, the Ravens are a really good team.
I'm ready and willing to see that. And like I just said about the Bills, like we were talking about with the Chiefs, if the Ravens are a really good team, this will be a kind of game where they show it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
They take on a Broncos team that developed a lot of momentum in the fourth quarter last week against the Giants. Dallas on the road, don't love it. I don't think they're a very good team. I don't think it's a good matchup at all for the Cowboys defense. And I really think that this is a game that might get ugly.
I think the big question is, can the Broncos do what nobody's done in the last few weeks or the season really, and that is force Dak Prescott to make a lot of big mistakes. And the Broncos defense has been killer this year. It really has been the case that the defense has been so good this year that the offense continually is being put in really just such advantageous positions. And then Sean Payton's been able to go into his bag with a very talented young quarterback in Bo Nix and things like that. This one's tricky for me. The over-under is also pretty high, 50.5. I think, if I'm being honest with this one, I think I'm taking the Cowboys to keep this one close. I just think that Dak's, when you have a quarterback who's playing in an MVP trajectory, it's hard in the NFL in 2025 to say, well, they're going to get blown out in this game. That's my thought process, is you're giving up points and you have potentially the MVP under center. It seems like a good bet to make.
The Broncos on their defense have the defending NFL Defensive Player of the Year in Patrick Surtain II, and they might have the 2025 Defensive Player of the Year, and it'd be a different guy, Nick Bonito, who has sacks in each of his last 16 games. He's second in the league this year with 8 sacks in 7 games. And I wonder if, and by the way, in addition to Bonito having 8 sacks, Jonathan Cooper, Benito's third in the league in sacks. He's third. Jonathan Cooper is 4th in the league. So the 2 pass rushers for Denver are doing better than any other pair in the league in terms of getting to the quarterback. And even if they don't get to the quarterback, they have the best cornerback in the league too that covers the opposing receiver. By the way, if you want to watch a one-on-one matchup, CD Lamb and Patrick Surtain II should be a really fun matchup.
I will say, what would your thoughts on this game be if I just took the Cowboys team and put them in the Atlanta Falcons jerseys?
About the same.
Okay, fine.
Why?
I was trying to see if you'd admit being a little biased against the Cowboys.
Oh, no.
George Pickens is killing it this year. He's opened up that offense in such a way that it's the one situation where, maybe CeeDee Lamb gets taken out by Patrick Surtain. Maybe you can actually open things up because you have a playmaker in George Pickens on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I look at that Cowboy defense and I just don't think they're that good.
I can't fight you a word on that one.
Yeah.
And so the bottom line is, if the Broncos win the turnover battle, they'll put the offensive advantageous positions. And to your point, Bo Nix and Sean Payton will figure out this Cowboys defense. They will score in those advantageous positions, and you'd probably need maybe 6 to 8 points for the Cowboys if you were going to make this one feasible. So that's fair.
And we'll get to the Sunday night in a moment, but there is one other noon game of interest. It's not an interconference game, and that would be the New York Football Giants visiting Philadelphia. The Giants have been better. They might have the co-rookies of the year in the quarterback, Jackson Dart, and Scatabo, the running back. They had a really nice lead in Denver last week, but it kind of fell apart late. And the Eagles seem to figure things out. The Eagles are still a 7.5-point favorite in this game. I think because of the rivalry, though, and with the youngsters that the Giants have, and the fact that they're playing them for the second time in 3 weeks, there's a little familiarity there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants cover in this one, even though they're at Philly.
I'm going to go with a cover on that one. I'm with you there because I think the Eagles are going to win this one because what you just pointed out, the young Giants team, a veteran Eagles team, I really, truly think that we if this is a close game, fourth quarter, the Eagles are going to be able to lean on the Giants and close this one out. But to your point, I have no reason to think the Eagles can score a ton of points right now. I have no reason to doubt that Jackson Dart and the Giants aren't going to find a way to at least get 21 themselves. So the Eagles winning this one 24-21 late is kind of in this in the pocket, 25, 28, 24, something like that. But either way, you're taking the Giants to cover and you're sitting pretty there.
And then on Sunday night, arguably the 2 most iconic fan bases, the Cheeseheads. Green Bay is at Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers takes on the Packers for the first time and last time in his career. By the way, he's beaten every other team in the NFL except for Green Bay because he hasn't had the opportunity to play against the Packers yet. He would be the 5th quarterback to beat all the other teams in the league.
Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Oh, God, who's the 4th? Drew Brees? No. Oh, God, who's the 4th?
Oh, this is good. So, yeah, Peyton, Brady,
Favre, and
who's lasted for a long time? Maybe it's like a Ryan Fitzpatrick or something like that, who's played for a million teams. Oh, we're going to find out now. Thank you, Google. Anyway, Rodgers this week said that he wants to sign a ceremonial contract with the Packers to end his career as a member of the Packers. Green Bay is a 2.5 point favorite on the road. In addition to the 2 fan bases, you have arguably the 2 best pass rushers in the game, and Micah Parsons and TJ Watt. Who do you got?
I was right. I was 100% right. Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
Oh,
let's go.
Well done. There you go. And Pittsburgh is 4-2. The Packers are 4-1-1. Pittsburgh obviously has a great home field advantage. I'll be interested to see how many Green Bay fans are there on Sunday Night Football. I think the Packers have more weapons than Pittsburgh does, and I think they have a better defense than Pittsburgh does. But the Steelers are at home. I think this will be a really close game, and I kind of like Rodgers against the Packers.
My thing with the Packers is there's still ceilings that both sides of the ball haven't hit yet. If Matthew Golding can truly be a 4-2 speed demon, the ceiling of the offense has a new level. If Micah Parsons can ever reach or can kind of find that dominance that he had in Dallas, because he's been a solid player, but I've yet to see him really take over games from play 1 to 60 like he did in a Cowboys uniform, in a Packers uniform yet.
The one against the Cardinals doesn't really count because it was the Cardinals.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you're okay with handicapping that. So, do either of those ceilings exist this season for the Packers? I don't know, but I'm still willing to say it could happen. And so, and my thing with the Steelers is I don't believe in any. I think they're a mile wide and an inch deep. I have no idea. I don't believe in what's happening. I don't know if the offense is real. The defense is super high paid, but hasn't really shown up and played a complete game yet themselves. And so I'm not really buying what the Steelers are selling. I think the Packers have a much higher ceiling. I'm taking 3 points. I'm giving up 3 points easy for the Packers and not blinking about it.
And I think one of the other things you have to look at
what's the weather going to be like, actually?
Weather always plays a role. When you get to this time of year, it's going to be Halloween week in Pittsburgh, so that's a big thing. And then the other part, and you're exactly right. Well, the Steeler defense, we always think, Steel Curtain. What do we got?
Sunny. We got sunny. I don't see it. I don't see any zero precipitation on Sunday in Pittsburgh.
That's a beautiful thing. Pittsburgh is allowing 124 yards a game actually 115.8 yards a game on the ground. And the Packers have Josh Jacobs. So Pittsburgh, let's see, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 25, 24, 23, 2, 21, 20. So Pittsburgh, middle of the pack, number 18 rush defense in the league. By the way, Green Bay's rush defense is number 2. The Cowboys wanted to trade Micah Parsons because he can't play,
and they got Kenny Clark because they needed
they needed run defense.
It's almost like thinking our rush defense can be solved by just getting a better nose tackle is a piece of thinking from 1995.
Yeah, it is. So the Packers have a top 10 rush offense, and the Steelers have a middle of the pack rush defense. And Josh Jacobs is a difference maker, so I could see that being a big part of this. But I don't think Pittsburgh. I'm with you. For as well as they're paid, doesn't look like Jalen Ramsey is what he was before, or Slay is what he was before. TJ Watt has not gotten off to a great start. No. So the Pittsburgh defense, well, highly paid, some great names, great history because of the Steel Curtain. They really aren't that great yet.
And so I know some people will say, well, why are you giving the Packers the benefit of the doubt on the ceiling with those players, but you're not going to give the Steelers defense? And my answer to that would be age.
Yeah, the Packers still had the youngest team in the league last year. They have the youngest team in the league this year.
Mike is young, three or 4 years younger than TJ, much younger than Jalen Ramsey. So that's a big reason I'm leaning on it.
All right. So there you have it. It is week 8 in the NFL right here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings, where the crown is yours. Hey, Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets when DraftKings launches on December 1st. Download the app now and place a $5 bet when DraftKings goes live, and DraftKings Sportsbook will bring everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when DraftKings officially goes live in Missouri, you'll be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. It's safe, it's secure, and has fast money withdrawals. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code STL Sports to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when DraftKings goes live December 1st in Missouri. That's code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.